What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Budget Monk 119 video here. I've been playing Byzantium, and it's 1591. That's our Byzantium here, but we also have the mighty Persia as our subject, and also Poland. Lol. Lol, I've got Poland. I just vassalized him a while back, and look at that reconquest to be had. Awesome. Not only that, Persia is Orthodox because hashtag Orthodox best docs. Um, yeah, and we're managing Liberty Desire with him, which is a challenge. It's 46, which is quite high, but granted, you can see here by the non-converted provinces, as he has religious ideas, that I only recently gave him those provinces. And I'm going to be feeding the rest mostly out of Tab, which has no allies, so he's absolutely free when I can. When I can, trying to manage the limited size is the biggest thing. I intend to actually integrate all of Persia once I have all of the core, once I'm large enough, so maybe one or two more wars with the Mamluks, the Ottomans, and maybe Hungary. Then feeding back his core and actually integrating him into my country and being the Megazantium. So this game's going pretty well. It's not even the year 1600 yet, but if that was not enough, I actually have Russian Dynasty, which is pretty cool. You can see I have diplomatic ideas, meaning that if I no CB, or truce break rather, it's only going to cost us 3 stability. Hashtag worth. And yeah, literally at any point, if this guy has a by the way, Denmark also shares the dynasty, but it's not so hot. Maybe if he integrates Norway, that could be a cheeky PU opportunity on him as well. And he does have some land to recore. But yeah, my point is, guys, if I was to continue this game, I'm going to PU Russia. Right now, he even with Diplo idea war score cost reduction, he's looking at 836 war score to conquer his nation. This is before admin efficiency. So if we compare him with France, which is 355, we can see he's actually pound for pound. If we look at Ming here, he's actually more than Ming. So that's an incredible. He's probably the largest in terms of share coring cost or war score cost nation in the game. And PUing him would be pretty sweet, especially because he would continue to colonize like a savage as he is right now, as I do have the third Rome DLC. So yeah, this is this game. It's not even the year 1600 yet. Might be a bit cocky, but I'm going to PU Russia. Absolutely massive and great. I've gotten to the point where I can basically annex the hell out of nations, or rather just ravage them like the Mamluks, the Ottomans. Nobody is a real threat to me, none of my neighbors at least. Diplomacy's really good. We've got Austria and Bohemia, both of which have actually been trading emperorship back and forth, these two, and it's quite strange how that's been going. Like, one's the emperor, then the other, but they're both my allies, so it doesn't really matter that much which one is emperor, because they will both aid us. So I plan to basically ravage Hungary next and reconquest Poland. I'm just worried about the Liberty Desire. I'm probably going to feed this Ruthenian land either to Russia as my ally, just give him land so he's larger for the PU, or Poland, as Poland has actually accepted Ruthenian culture. You can see he's a cheeky Orthodox nation as well, just for the lols, because easy. So pretty cool game, and I decided to stop it here and basically show you guys because we can re-establish the themes system, which is really cool. And you can see here, as well as renaming all of the Turkish provinces back to the old Greco-Roman names, it gives us actually 4 base tax, 4 production, and 3 manpower in Constantinople, as well as national manpower modifier 25% for the entire game. Holy Moses. Holy Moses. It's good. With that being said, I wanted to, first of all, videos like this tend to get more viewers than my subscribers usually, so I just want to say hi and welcome. My name is Budget Monk. I'd love it if you guys follow. I usually do mostly starter strategies and things. That's what I usually intend to do on my channel. That's most of my content. And with that being said, I have a bit of a predicament, guys, and I want your opinion, those of you who are my followers. Let me just stop. Stop. This has to be addressed. Guys, I've been trying to get my webcam, like, right ever since I've been using this new software, and, like, the green screen looks okay to me right now, but can you just, look at these lips. Look at them. Look at them. Do I look so much like I've got lipstick on or something. And I'm like orange. Look at the orange. What can you do? What can you do? Luckily, we just carry it on our charismatic shoulders like it's no big deal. Look, hideously disfigured? Don't worry about it. We're the best. At least the best. So with that being said, I'm the best and most humble budget monk. I wanted to ask you guys, do you want me to make a freaking Byzantium strategy every patch? Because here's the reality. I've made so many, I feel like it's almost like selling out because these videos tend to pull in quite some views if it's like a successful video. And that's not my intention. That's my last intention, is to like sell out and make the same stuff that people aren't interested in. But the reality is I get so many comments that are like, hey, can you make Byzantium? All my Byzantium videos have, does this work on the current patch? Can you make a new strategy? Blah, 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 blah. Here's the deal. I'm willing to do that, but I just want to say right now, that's what this video is intended for. When I do my opening move videos, I actually try to make it so that it's really consistent, or as consistent as possible, so that you can kind of do it in one attempt if you are good. I mean, let's put it that way. The reality is right now, if we go to a timeline here, Byzantium is actually not that hard, in my opinion. I think the kind of patch, I forget when it was, but there was the patch where it allowed people to walk across the strait if they own both sides, even if you're blockading the strait. And that was a real turning point for Byzantium strategies, where it made it very difficult to actually do anything about the Ottomans, because previously you could trap them on the Anatolian side, as if beating their navy wasn't hard enough. Now that doesn't work. And that's where a lot of players like myself had to get really creative. But I just want to say that I think people might be a little bit spoiled in the sense that they play Byzantium and they just want some kind of strategy, some way to do something really creative like people have in the past and just take all of Greece, in one war. And I'm here to tell you that currently, with the dynamic and the fact of the straits that I just talked about, I don't really think that's really plausible or possible right now, is some kind of clean, decisive strategy to just take Greece. But with that being said, they're actually not that hard when you actually just... The reality is these provinces are all Greek, and therefore, because you're the primary culture, Byzantium, the cores will never go away. So there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time. And that is why I recommend that you go into Jandar. And I'm going to show you guys my... time-lapse here, the footage, to see what I do. I'm not going to commentate on it too hard, just to give us kind of an idea. I'll go at double speed here. But about half the time the Ottomans go for Albania, and therefore go into Jandar. If you go into Jandar, although these are Sunni and they won't be stable, one will actually spawn Ottoman rebels, and one will spawn Jandar rebels. Therefore, if you take defensive battles on each of these stacks, it actually makes it, let's slow this down a bit, very plausible to defend from each individual rebel faction when they're nearing to being successful. And then you can go into this Orthodox land with really quite some ease. I noticed that Circassia, or somebody told me how to say their name, dude, Circassia, something like that, very often they don't get subjugated like they did in the past. They're a good opportunity to go in there, steal their cash, as well as, having victory over them. I highly recommend, if you're one of those players who the Ottomans go in against Jandar first, and you don't want to retry, you want to just really stubbornly play it out, do the best you can, you're going to have to no-CB something. I recommend no-CBing the Crimea if they don't have any allies. Very often the Crimea is rivaled by the Golden Horde and or Genoa. I noticed that if you declare on them and they don't have any allies, the Golden Horde and or Genoa will do the same thing. And then you can go ahead and fully annex what remains. Of course, you're going to do all the work, right? Like you get military access from one of these Orthodox nations, unload all your troops, wreck the Crimea, but you leave his land unoccupied, just take his capital city. Fully annex whatever remains after one of the other nations declare on him. And meanwhile, you're going to be having fabricated on Theodoro, for example. So you're going to take that claim and then release the Crimea. If you do it in this method, the Crimea is going to have the least liberty desire. You are going to have to watch the liberty desire, even though you're more powerful than them, obviously, because they have a boost to it being a horde. They don't like being a subject. With that being said here, you can see that I've fed Crimea to its maximum capacity in terms of core. They do actually begin with core on these provinces. I wouldn't be too worried about the fact that they're Sunni, as Byzantium is like the king of converting in the sort of mid to late game once you unlock your ideas. I personally went religious. I wouldn't worry about that. But you can see here that I had plenty of opportunities by going in against Janda to actually expand, take people's wealth, and, be prosperous. With that being said, currently, in the current patch, the Ottomans don't attack you. I don't know why, but they just don't attack you like they did in the past for some time. And that's what I mean by it actually not being that hard and people being quite spoilt, in my opinion. The reality is you can usually just build relations with Hungary. And Hungary, if you're expanding yourself, especially if you take this sort of estuary, the trade, and you have the capital, you have good trade in Constantinople, you're doing fine yourself. I became a great power pretty quickly around the year 1500, I think. If you have Hungary as an ally, guys, the Ottomans are not going to attack you. You're going to have plenty of time. In time, you'll be able to take Russia as a ally. There's no reason not to. As the Orthodox nation, as you grow in power, they will be easy. And it's just a matter of time until you actually are able to call Hungary in. Even if he doesn't rival the Ottomans, he doesn't like a Muslim neighbor, and he will eventually desire their land. So, just wait till he attacks the Mamelukes or something like that. I don't want to make it sound trivial. It's not trivial, but it's certainly not extremely difficult, in my opinion. You just have to not focus so much on the core and look for other opportunities, like expanding around this region into Armenia, wherever. Boost autonomy if you need to, it's no big deal. As long as you're going to war against smaller nations and taking all of their cash when you fully annex them, you'll be nice and prosperous. Make sure if you want to exploit the core here, if you do get Crimea as a subject, who I recommend to subjugate, make sure to just keep in mind that these cores will actually go away fairly quickly by around the year 1500 because they are Ruthenian culture, not Crimean culture. But most likely, if you do ally Russia, he will help you against Lithuania in offensive war. Even if he doesn't have favors, you can promise him land, which I would give him land. It's nice to build favors by giving him land and empowering him. At some stage, Poland is probably going to look somewhat vulnerable, and yourself, as well as Russia, going in against them when they're fighting a war, can make it an absolute breeze. And you can see here that resulted in the full decline of Poland. So those are just some general tips, guys, and what I'm really interested in is if you guys would like me to kind of make a opening move style starting strategy video as Byzantium every patch, every significant patch, just let me know. But here we are in the same spot. I'm actually a great power, obviously. Apparently, we're the #1 ranked great power. We actually, I climbed up the ranks here really quickly. I can tell you probably about 20 years ago I wasn't #1, but back to back I had a big 100% overextension into the Mamelukes, and same into the Ottomans, and then same into Iraq, actually. Maybe not 100%, but pretty close, of reconquest from Persia. So 3 big decisive victories back to back, and apparently we're even more badass than France now. Ranked 4th overall. And here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this theme system reestablish the theme system just for the funsies. So this is supposed to rename things like Ankara back to like the Seleucid days, or I suppose not even the Seleucid days, but just the Eastern Roman Empire. and gives us, there we go, everything's renamed. Pretty cool. Speaking of Seleucia, pretty cool. Pretty cool names. And my capital is 40 development. God damn. God damn. And I get 800 manpower a month. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. So that's going to wrap up the video, guys. I'm actually, I don't have that much experience in the Mandate of Heaven, as I did that full playthrough in the old patch while everybody else was playing this patch. So I played a little bit of stuff here. This is kind of to warm myself up. But I am going to be doing actually a full series as Hungary, where I'm going to go for a 1 tag and 1 faith. The 1 faith achievement, but a kind of personal achievement to just 1 tag everything. As Hungary, because they're probably my favorite nation. So that might not be the most appealing thing ever for you guys, but I hope you enjoy regardless, because that's what I feel like doing, and ultimately I'm going to do what I feel like doing, because I want to have fun with what I do. But I'm going to, considering I'm playing in the current patch, I'm going to continue to make other videos as well, just doing my best, what I can. So I hope you guys enjoy. This was a really fun game. I'm tempted to really continue, but what can you do? By the way, if you see here I have a loan, that's just because I just recently embraced the printing press. You can see it hasn't spread much further than me, and in order to do that, my preference usually is to take 2 or 3 loans to just be able to afford it. As soon as I'm wanting to tech up, I do that, essentially. But you can see here, with my armies unmaintained, we're making 32 a month, and maintained 20 a month. Absolutely stellar and wealthy, with +1 advisors and everything. Soon I will upgrade my advisors to, well, at the moment, whatever we desire. I just took exploration ideas and a 100 power projection. We've actually overkilled the power projection above 100 there, so fantastic. I just took colonial ideas, literally just took them, because I plan to actually colonize like the East Indies, but also Australia if I can. I really like colonizing ideas. I think they're overall, pound for pound, they're like one of the better idea groups in my opinion, especially because of the opportunities you get by colonizing different regions, combined with the Deuce Vault, and enabling you to just fully ravage regions and stabilize them without having to make claims or anything like that. Sick. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be making another video where I kind of rant about the state of the game, the DLC. I'm going to get into that kind of drama as well, and drop my opinion. I've noticed a lot of people have not been exactly happy with Paradox, and yeah, I'll elaborate on that in the next video. Thank you for watching, and yeah, if you're new, I'd appreciate the follow. So, peace out.